October 28th, 2023, the day the beloved Matthew Perry passed away.
Fans leaving flowers, notes like this one, the one where we lost one of our friends.
But amidst all the sorrow,
something is not adding up with Matthew Perry's.
Fans are haunted by supposedly cryptic messages.
He's trying to tell us something, because what is going on, right?
Leading many down a dark hole of conspiracies.
Why do people jump straight to conspiracy theories the second a celebrity?
Let's unravel, but more importantly, debunk the unsettling conversations surrounding the late Matthew Perry, in hopes of finally shining light on the legacy Matthew aspired to leave behind, honoring his memory in the way he intended. Let's get into it. Matthew, the man responsible for gracing the world with the always quick-witted Chandler on the long-running 236-episode sitcom, Friends, was found unresponsive at his home in Los Angeles on Saturday, October 28th. The tragedy unfolded when the Los Angeles Fire Department received a call from Matthew's personal assistant. When they arrived at 4:07 p.m., the fire department made the devastating discovery: 54-year-old Matthew Perry had passed away. A 911 dispatch audio leak even mentioned drowning, adding layers to the heartbreaking story.
Engine 23, Rescue 23, Mess 9 all on radio. Respond to the drowning.
That morning, Matthew had played a game of pickleball before returning home and sending his assistant out on some errands. And it was when his assistant returned to his home 2 hours later that he found Matthew unresponsive in his jacuzzi, lifted him partially out of the water, and called 911. Sadly, it was too late. When the fire department arrived, they performed a medical assessment and confirmed the worst. A series of YouTube shorts posted by former TMZ producer Joy of Everything documented the nearly dozen police officers and police vehicles that can be seen outside of Matthew's house the evening of the incident, caution tape strung across the front of the property. While the circumstances surrounding his passing do point to a water tragedy and no illicit narcotics were present at the scene, the LA County Medical Examiner's Office listed the case as deferred or open, and an investigation was underway.
We spoke to the LAPD earlier today, and they tell us that no foul play is suspected.
It's possible that Matthew's history and toll it had taken on his body could shed light on his tragic and sudden passing. The actor had discussed his personal struggle with addiction to both narcotics and alcohol in the past.
I'm a drug addict. I'm a person that if I have a drink, I can't stop.
It's kind of a life or death kind of situation.
Matthew, who had admitted in the past to detoxing from substances 65 times throughout his life, announced the release of a memoir just last year, a book that delved deep into just how horrible his struggles had been, even writing in his book titled Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing. In the dictionary, under the word addict, there should be a picture of me looking around, very confused. The world paused in disbelief of the news as flowers and gifts were left at the actor's doorstep.
These fans have been paying their respects all day.
And tributes flooded social media. Celebrities' passings usually don't affect me, but this just broke my heart. R.I.P. Matthew Perry. You will always be our Chandler Bing. Could I be any more brokenhearted? It feels like a little piece of my childhood is gone. Thanks for bringing us joy to our lives.
Take a look at this amazing crowd in New York City. All of these fans here at the iconic Friends building where they filmed the exteriors.
And his family released a statement.
We are heartbroken by the tragic loss of our beloved son and brother. Matthew brought so much joy to the world.
But was it really a jacuzzi accident that led to the end of his life? Or is there something else at play? While many tend to mourn and not ask questions, the days leading up to Matthew's passing seemed off to many fans.
And then boom, 5 days later, he's gone? Get out of here, man. Not a coincidence.
And with the cause of Matthew's passing a mystery, a number of conspiracy theories emerged. The conspiracy theories surrounding Matthew Perry's passing has me going down a rabbit hole on TikTok right now. That Matthew Perry conspiracy theory is kind of wild, really makes you think. And they all seem to be focusing on one thing, his recent Instagram activity. Has anyone else seen Matthew Perry's Instagram? It is so sus. Some people are claiming there's a conspiracy. Some people say it looks like he was planning to unalive himself. and other people are saying that those theories are BS and part of the denial phase of grief. Matthew wasn't a frequent poster, making only 83 posts since 2020. In 2022 alone, his Instagram was mostly used to promote his memoir. So when October 2023 came around and Matthew began posting days apart with unusual captions, fans couldn't help but worry. It was these last 7 posts that stirred a whirlwind of theories, where Matthew dubbed himself Matman, merging his identity with the dark, enigmatic allure of Batman. The first post from October 2017 showed a video of a room with 3 large TVs, all displaying images from Robert Pattinson's 2022 film, The Batman. The video ends as Matthew points the camera to a red projection of the bat signal on the ceiling in the corner of the room, along with the caption, "No need to worry, everybody. I've got the streets tonight." His next post from October 19th showed the bat signal again, this time projected with his swimming pool at night paired with the caption, "Sleep well, everybody. I've got the city tonight. Matman." Next was a post from October 21st displaying the words, "Batman plays pickleball," with the caption, "WTF?" He also left a comment on the post writing, "Rest easy, I'm on a tall building," likely referencing Batman's notorious night watches from atop tall buildings overlooking the city of Gotham. Then came a post that set itself apart from the rest of the Batman-related content. On October 22nd, a short video was shared of a hand placing what appears to be 3 pieces of fruit on a table. Yet, the caption continued with a superhero theme. "This is what I've had to eat today. I'm Matman." In another post to Instagram on the same day, Matthew shared a photo of a lit pumpkin with the Batman logo carved into it and posed the eerie question, "Do you know what I mean?" Also shared on the 22nd was his penultimate post. This time, a short clip with no sound of the moon as the clouds move past it, captioned, "Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? I'm Matman." And finally, on October 23rd, in his last Instagram post, Matthew shared a photo seemingly combining content from a few of the previous posts together. Matthew in the corner of his jacuzzi, with the moon overhead paired with the caption, "Oh, so warm water swirling around makes you feel good? I'm Matman."
Is it just me, or is it extremely creepy, ironic that this was the last post that Matthew Perry posted to Instagram, and that was exactly where he died?
Now viewed under the grim shadow of his passing, fans believe the photos and their captions may hold more than just a casual nod to the superhero. These posts are so scary. He was crying for help. I think all the recent posts were a call for help. Do you want us to send help? Is this your signal? His passing should be investigated. Who took the picture of him in the hot tub for his last post? That's where he passed away. His entire Instagram is like PR, and only recently he started posting, and he was sending out the bat signal, and we didn't get it. Especially when some fans who allegedly read his book made a connection. As one person alleged, he said in his book that if he was ever in danger, he will send the bat signal. Another seemed to agree, asking, "Anyone else read the book and see the risky connection?" We'll find out what his book really said later in this video. But first, what did all of this really mean? Well, the coroner assigned to Matthew's case seemed to think the cause would end up being linked to his past history of substance abuse, saying, "You can't have a narcotic problem for 30 years and then expect to have it solved in 28 days. It's worth noting, early toxicology tests revealed no presence of 2 specific narcotics, but a conclusive update won't be known for another 4 to 6 months. Yet, that didn't stop a number of people from digging for a deeper meaning. First, let's dive into Tommy G's theories laid out via a 2-part Twitter thread, opening his thread with a question.
What did you know, Matthew? And who did this to you?
Tommy believes Matthew discussed the who, what, when, where, why, and how to Matthew's passing, alleging Matthew's last 7 posts may have signaled clues. As for the reason, Tommy offered several theories. Matthew may have known his time was up, his life could have been in danger, or that he was going to end his own life. Now, Tommy, like many others, theorized the first red flag for Matthew's latest IG posts was this one. underscoring that it did not fit his normal post pattern. Also emphasizing, when did citizens post the bat signal? When they were in danger. Tommy expanded on his theory, explaining the connection between the Batman and these posts was that in this particular rendition from the franchise, the Riddler used social media to post his cryptic riddles. Diving into Matthew's next post, the one with the bat signal in the water, Tommy believes this one answered the question of who. The last chapter of his memoir is titled Batman, and he calls himself Matman. He's implying that this is his final chapter. Next up, the pickleball post that, in Tommy's eyes, was where things took a weird turn and explained that pickleball and Batman have nothing in common. So, it must have been a sign, right? According to Tommy, the coincidence was too eerie to ignore. Then, 7 days later, he passes, right after a pickleball game. Now it makes sense. He was telling us what he would be doing before it. Then there was the post of Matthews that seemed to be the most random of all, the one with the unidentified fruit. Tommy claims this post was the actor telling the world how he was going to pass away. This post has a number of other theories circulating that we will get to as well. But for Tommy, he believes the fruit were cranberries. Going on, he outlined a connection between the passing of Dolores O'Riordan, lead singer of the band The Cranberries, who passed away in a similar manner in 2018. Diving even deeper, Tommy explained another seemingly eerie connection. Here's the definition of cranberrying in Urban Dictionary. It's when fans and friends love you more after passing. Also, the way to grow cranberries is drown them in water. Expanding, he offered that his definition pointed to the why of Matthew's end. His motive was to go out with a bang and leave a legacy exactly like the Riddler did after his passing. Tommy believes that Matthew's pumpkin post explained the when, Halloween. He's either signaling to everyone before his unaliving, or he knows his time is up from selling his soul and they are coming for him this weekend. P.S. The Riddler passed on Halloween weekend in The Batman. Matthew's moon provided further insight according to Tommy. The moon represents the full moon coming on October 28th, the day of his passing. But we are missing the where, and of course he gives us that too. October 23rd in the hot tub, at peace, where he will be found deceased 5 days later. This explanation seemed to take over social media as well, with other users sharing similar theories.
Is this conspiracy theory real, or was he trying to sell us something?
But then there were those who came to a different conclusion about Matthew's video of fruits, identifying them as not cranberries, but the poisonous baneberry. Baneberries, not cranberries. If he ate them, that would cause cardiac arrest. Very poisonous berry. I would say this is a planned unaliving, unfortunately. Though, others were quick to debunk this theory. Not baneberries, much larger and wrong color. You can only get baneberries in Montana. They are grapes. Baneberries have a signature black dot at the end of the berry. There's no black dot on these berries. Or, were they not berries at all? Some seem to think they were something else entirely. These are frozen grapes. He ate frozen grapes whenever he wanted a cigarette. Please all read his book and stop with the theories. To which another replied, yes, I agree. Cranberries are also much smaller too. If people look at the relativity, you can see they are grapes. The lengths people go to when they need a reason. So tragic. I'm truly devastated on a soul level with all this. Either way, someone actually noted in a comment on the post before the actor passed away, something that seemed to age in an interesting way. There's gonna be a conspiracy theory about this post. He wasn't wrong. But that wouldn't be the last of the theories. Part 2 of Tommy's Twitter thread took a darker route, discussing theories related to the Clintons and Anthony Bourdain, who passed away in 2018. So how's this tied to Friends? And just 30 days before Anthony's passing, he posted a tweet which sent the conspiracy world into a tailspin, claiming the Friends cast would chant "Hail Satan" during breaks. It also tied in Friends' foreshadowing. So there's a whole episode about Chandler taking a bath. Remember, he passed in a hot tub. The fact he is dreaming about drowning.
I could fall asleep in here. I could drown in here. Drowning.
Which had also been pointed out by others on social media.
He's my drowning moron. Chandler, what is the matter with your face? Wait, this picture is supposed to say Geller and Bing to be married, not local woman saves drowning moron.
And of course, what conspiracy theory would be complete without a Simpsons reference? In Perry's only line in Simpsons history, it is followed by Maggie asking about suicides and Marge emphasizing murders.
Matthew Perry.
Yeah, could I be any more of a house?
Who else we got?
Hey, Cha-Cha, I got more features than a NASA relief map of Turkmenistan.
Isn't that the voice that caused all those murders?
Guess what episode that was? Halloween episode, Treehouse of Horrors 12. Perry passed on Halloween weekend. They did it again. Another theory points to an alleged association with the now infamous Epstein. Many claim that Perry was on the original Epstein flight logs and was ended to be silenced, likely referring to TikToks like this one.
Well, he was on the list.
Did Perry know something that needed to be disposed of? With many seeming to believe Matthew wasn't involved in any sinister activity, but rather knew too much. Tommy's thread of theories also touched on a circulating conspiracy. It claims Perry was writing another memoir, and 334 files are missing from his laptop, which ties in with the idea that his alleged tell-all would have been exposing many big names in Hollywood. However, it appears there are no public reports of a second memoir. But was that everything? Not by a long shot. The theories continue to grow darker, with talks of Faustian bargain, or rather, deal with the devil, where someone trades their soul for the chance to become famous.
And then I knelt down and said, God, you can do whatever you want to me, just please make me famous.
The most interesting part of all this is that he is clearly referencing Satan and not God. Matthew's memoir also described this instance.
He says, quote, 3 weeks later I got cast in Friends, and God has certainly kept his side of the bargain. He goes on to admit that Faustian prayer that I made was a stupid one, the one of a child. It was not based on anything real, but it became real.
But some thought the timing was suspicious, theorizing something much more sinister.
And that is another thing, is Matthew Perry on a full moon with a partial eclipse. He on the hunter's moon. Some are saying that this was a full moon sacrifice.
You could not have a more ritualistic night than Sunday, October 28th, as it was a full moon, lunar eclipse, Halloween weekend, and blood moon. Supposedly, his second memoir was going to be revealing Hollywood's secrets. As soon as I heard he drowned, I just already knew. It's a sacrifice, known as rebirth. Simply heartbreaking. From deals with the devil to sacrifices, you'd think that'd be the end of it. But no. One TikTok user noted something odd. There was a video about Doja Cat sitting on the friend's couch dressed as the devil. She's right. The singer posted this video in early September after her new single, Demons, was released. The video remained on her profile all of September. The post has since been removed, but Doja sparked another theory when she dressed up as Catwoman on Halloween and posted a photo captioned with a bat emoji, leading one TikToker to believe Doja may have been involved. Tommy G expanded Doja Cat theory, alleging Doja Cat has become the newly anointed Satanist queen and recently had her ritualistic birth at her 27 Club birthday party, and everyone is freaked out by it. Her birthday, coincidentally, is 1 week before the day Perry passed. He shared this video from last year.
You guys, we lost Doja. Did you see her theme party a few days ago? She showed up like this. And hey, check her cake. Interesting.
Tommy continued by connecting Matthew's love for Batman with Catwoman. And who was Batman's Achilles heel? Catwoman. He also connected Doja's Demons post with her music video for her song Demons, explaining, where a demon comes up from the tub to unalive as she raps about overdosing on narcotics, seeming to make an eerie comparison to Matthew's passing in his hot tub along with his history of narcotics. Finally, Tommy concluded the Doja Cat theory by highlighting text on her Friends post. The Friends logo has a dot between each letter, which you can say represents each of the 6 friends. Demons on Doja Cat's page has the dots too, except the first one is gone. But for some, their theories had nothing to do with Satan or sinister reasons, but rather believed Matthew was someone who was unhappy with his life or knew his time was coming.
Think about this for a second. He writes and publishes this in 2022. The last chapter of his memoir, which is typically a story about your life, is titled Batman. There's no doubt in my mind that Matthew Perry 100% knew his demise was just ahead. Everything's planned, my friends. Question everything.
Not everyone has read his book, though, where the final lines of his memoir read, "Someday you, too, might be called upon to do something important. So be ready for it. And when whatever happens, just think, what would Batman do? And do that." And speaking of his memoir, those who read it were quick to point out a few somber sentences. And I should be, if you like. You can consider what you're about to read to be a message from the beyond, my beyond. One fan noticed an eerie connection between the actor's passing and his book. "I just realized that his book has 11 chapters, and he passed away 11 months after the book is released." Now, as always, with the conspiracy theories came people ready to debunk.
Why do people jump straight to conspiracy theories the second a celebrity?
That's TikToker Christina Cavallari, and she made an interesting point.
If you just spend like 5 minutes Googling Matthew Perry Batman, you'll see the numerous times he's spoken about Batman over the years. There's a GQ interview, Jimmy Kimmel interview talking about his Batman memorabilia. There's his car. He literally has an Aston Martin that looks like a Batmobile.
In response to Christina's video, several people debunked the shocking allegation about the bat symbol. The people are saying, he said in his book, if I use the bat symbol, it means I need help. Never read his book and get all their news off TikTok. His book never said anything about him putting out signals if he was in trouble. I listened/read to that chapter twice. It was not mentioned. Christina also read Matthew's memoir and reaffirmed that he never spoke about the bat symbol in that matter. Then there were people who were in direct contact with Matthew. Model and entertainment reporter Athena Crosby had dinner with Matthew at the Hotel Bel Air the night before his passing and spoke with TMZ on the slew of theories.
I think people assuming that his posts about the bat signal or the fact that he's Batman were some sort of subliminal messages to ask for help or a cry for help. That's just completely false. He was just a sweet nerd that liked Batman. He was excited about the future. He was taking care of his health, and the fact that he was a freak accident, but there's nothing fishy about it.
And TikToker Indigo Reports explained Matthew's IG activity with references to other interviews.
Because Batman has always been his metaphor for his struggles with addiction. Matthew ended up living a lot of his life alone because of his addiction, and he would find comfort in calling himself Batman. In an interview, he said, I am Batman. Well, he's a rich loner. We both drive black cool cars. He said that he would even call his assistant Alfred, and his assistant would call him Mr. Wayne, aka Bruce Wayne, Batman.
A bookshop even joined in the conversation and wrote, "You really just need to read his book to understand what it means." In fact, in a 2022 interview with People, Matthew alluded to his struggles with addiction when saying,
If I did die, it would shock people, but it wouldn't surprise anybody.
And remember that theory that said Matthew was allegedly on the flight list for Epstein Island? USA Today states the theory is false, explaining there is no evidence that he visited Epstein Island, and Perry's name does not appear on the flight log of Jeffrey Epstein's private plane. And then there's the documented fact that Matthew was simply a huge fan of Batman, like in this GQ interview where he lists his top 10 essentials, including a Batman hat, Batman sweatpants, Batman watch, keys to his very Batman-like car, and even an office chair with the Batman logo on it. Matthew further explained he relates to Batman very much because they are rich loners that solve crime.
It's a pleasure showing you my essentials, and, by seeing them, you should probably know by now that I'm Batman.
People also took to social media to express their disappointment on people's reactions surrounding the actor's passing.
I've never been more disgusted in my entire life than to find out that when this man, instead of giving his family space and time to mourn, people thought it was a good idea to stand outside his home, take pictures, take videos, film his family, mourning his...
Can people not create conspiracy theories around Matthew Perry's passing? It's weird. He wasn't trying to send cryptic messages through his Instagram posts. Let him rest. The Matthew Perry conspiracy theories are mad and a bit insensitive, but the most insane one is that Doja Cat ended him. I truly don't know if it's ignorance or if they struggle to grasp the concept of morality. In their minds, no one can simply pass away, even though quite literally everyone passes at some point. But aside from all the drama surrounding Matthew's passing, there was something much more meaningful that he wanted to one day be remembered by. It may be surprising for some, but it wasn't his role as Chandler Bing on Friends that he wanted the world to remember.
The best thing about me, bar none, is if somebody comes up to me and says, I can't stop drinking, can you help me? I can say yes and follow up and do it. I've said this for a long time. When I die, I don't want Friends to be the first thing that's mentioned. I want that to be the first thing that's mentioned. And I'm going to live the rest of my life proving that.
Matthew, with all of his experiences, chose to help others. He even teamed up with an addiction specialist and turned his Malibu home into a sober house for men during 2013 to 2015. The Perry House had the purpose of helping recovering addicts ease back into their regular lives. In the time leading up to his tragic passing, he hoped to continue this work and create a foundation where others facing addiction could get help.
Well, his family has made that happen. The Matthew Perry Foundation has gone live today.
It's clear that, whatever reason fans and those close to him choose to remember Matthew by, he won't be forgotten anytime soon. Singer Charlie Puth even paid tribute to the actor at his concert in Melbourne the night after his passing.
I want to dedicate this song to another song, and if it makes you think of a person, that's who it's dedicated to. Does this mean anything to you?
Then leading right into the Friends theme song, followed by his song with Wiz Khalifa, See You Again. And Adele spoke about Matthew's passing during her show in Las Vegas the following night as well, before beginning her song When We Were Young.
I don't know if any of you heard, but earlier on Matthew Perry
Yes.
from Friends, and it's such a part of my childhood, that show Friends. He was so open with his struggles with addiction and sobriety, which I think is incredibly, incredibly brave. And hopefully now he can rest in peace.
And his castmates, his friends, Lisa Kudrow, Matt LeBlanc, Courtney Cox, David Schwimmer, and Jennifer Aniston shared a joint statement in a People's exclusive on October 31st, saying, "We are all so utterly devastated by the loss of Matthew. We were more than just castmates. We are a family. There is so much to say, but right now, we're going to take a moment to grieve and process this unfathomable loss. In time, we will say more, as and when we are able. For now, our thoughts and our love are with Maddie's family, his friends, and everyone who loved him around the world." In a separate statement, Matt LeBlanc, the Joey to Matthew's Chandler, wrote his own goodbye. "Matthew, it is with a heavy heart I say goodbye. The times we had together are honestly among the favorite times of my life. It was an honor to share the stage with you and to call you my friend. I will always smile when I think of you, and I'll never forget you. Never. Spread your wings and fly, brother. You're finally free. Much love. And I guess you're keeping the $20 you owe me." Matthew's funeral took place not far from the lot where Friends was filmed, on November 3rd, with close friends and family only.
Matthew Perry was laid to rest today in a very quiet ceremony, around 20 people, including his co-stars from Friends. Jennifer Aniston, Courtney Cox, and Lisa Kudrow were all seen entering the service together.
Matthew's final resting place is Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Los Angeles. Whether you agree with the theories filling social media or have simply been devastated by the news of Matthew Perry's passing, one thing is certain. This really is the one where we all lost a friend.